Happy beautiful Friday, beautiful people. I am always in the car. Oh my goodness, Alicia, stop vlogging and driving as I continue to vlog. I am on my way to grab a bite. Biting on a budget, budgeting on a bite. Literally, actually. I'm going to grab something to eat. I just got off work and I have not eaten yet. And I'm going to be reading. Going to do some personal development. But I'm reading through this Dave Ramsey book, which if you follow me on Instagram, I've posted it a while ago. And it's funny because I started reading it and I put it down because he gives you strategies, like step by step. And so I love strategies and I love when people do step by steps. But the problem is, there's a part of me that puts the book down, not because I don't enjoy what's going on, but because I feel like I've convinced myself that I should not continue reading the book unless I've conquered step one. And so this book is about your finances. And I said to myself the other day, I said, Self said, yes. I said, your money is not changing, honey. Like, your lifestyle of budgeting is not, you're not winning. So maybe you should just read the book through and then start applying the steps. And so now I am rereading it, and it's actually a really good book so far. I can kind of hear Dave Ramsey's personality a little bit in some of his, like, the book, so I like it. I haven't gotten too far into it, but I'm about to grab a bite and read for a bit. But I just wanted to check in and say happy Friday to you all, and I'll probably share tips as I go along. I mean, I do think that you should go out and invest in his books and things for yourself. I can't say that they work until I can testify that they have worked for me, but so far the points that he's making, they do make sense. And it was something that he said which was funny because I'm actually contradicting the lesson that I just was taught. But he said that people who are single have it the hardest when it comes to budgeting because they don't have any accountability. And he said, married people or children, there's always someone at home waiting for you to hold you accountable with where you've been spending your money. But people who are single can make, decisions off the whim. They don't have anyone to be accountable for, or no one's depending on them to like save their money. They can go out to eat just because they don't want to be home alone, or go to the movies because they don't want to be at home by themselves. And you all know that I'm a big advocate for scheduled happy and self-care, but I think mine does not stem out of not wanting to be home, because I do enjoy cooking. Like, most of my friends will tell you, if I can get a good night with enough time to get a movie and I have already ran to the store, I will cook me a good meal, light some candles, and call it a night. So I can hear what he's saying as far as people who are single and maybe not enjoying their single season, or they don't enjoy being alone, that they tend to spend more money trying to be out and doing, just constantly doing. But I just thought it was really interesting that he made that he brought that to the surface, that as a single you have it hardest to budget. And I did not realize that about myself until I started to like read this book and actually look at myself, that I do have the access, or the, I don't want to say access, but I do have the right, or that's not the word either, I do have the privilege of spending money and no one stopping me or holding me accountable. And when I was in a relationship, while I didn't share bank accounts with that person, or not that we didn't have any bills together or things like that, there is still someone saying like, hey babe, what are you doing, like, just because they're on alert, possibly because they know your goals, or they're just, between the two of you, they are more of the money manager. It just depends. But I recognize that being single does allow you to just be out here like, hey, what we doing? Got the card, I'm swiping. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I want to know your thoughts. If you're single or married or in a relationship, or if you're still living at home, do you feel like your finances are under control, not because of your personal discipline, but because of the people around you watching you? Or are you the disciplinaire? Are you the one in your relationship, or even in your friendships or in your circles, more mindful of money? He did also say, and then I'm gonna wrap it up, that if you are single, you should find someone who will hold you accountable. And I love the people in my life, okay? I really do. And I don't know if this is more so like my doing or if there just really isn't. But I don't know anyone who will be like tracking me. I don't know. Like, I think that's a hard, like, I feel like that type of accountability when it comes to money requires just like someone who, and he says it should be someone who has wealth and someone who, like, not a rich person, but someone who actually shows discipline in their money. But I just think that's hard, like, to find that in your circle sometime. But that also challenged me to say, you know what, I want to not only get my finances under order, but I want to be able to encourage, you know, my family and my friends and the generations after me. So like my nieces and nephews and godchildren, to either have an accountability, like I can be that person for them, or that I can at least encourage them, giving them some like strategy, if that makes sense. But I just thought it was interesting. So if you are someone who has a hard time with your money, and you don't have people in your life who can hold you accountable, that can definitely be a goal for you between now and next year. And I say next year instead of next month, because money is a finicky topic and not everyone wants someone in their financial business. So a year, I think, is a realistic amount of time to not only meet someone who's in a financial place that you want to be in, but also develop a relationship that you would trust them enough to really report to them about your spending habits, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to vlog sometimes because you have the thought in mind, but you're also paying attention to the road. But I hope that came out right. So anyway, gonna go grab lunch, gonna do some reading, and I will share different tips with you all. But I am still personally encouraging you to invest in yourself and get the books that you need to get the strategy for the things that you know you're struggling, you know. So I'm keeping it 100. I'm not out here struggling financially, but I also want to use some wisdom to not get to that place where I'm in a crisis and now I want to, you know, use application. I want to be a good steward of my finances. I want God to bless me so that I can really bless others. We say that because it does sound good. It really sounds good to say that. But I really want to get to a place where I can see that money is not just, it's not just like, it's just money. Like, I want to see it as like, it's just money, and that God can give this so free flowingly that I'm not attached to it to where I can't bless someone else. You know? Because sometimes when we don't really see like money as it's just money, we cling, we clutch our fist, and we don't want to give and things like that. But I want to really see money, or anything that God gives me. So it can be money, it can be my car, it can be the extra clothes that I'm not wearing, it can be the food in my freezer that's been in there since last month but that is still good and that someone else can eat. I don't want to clench anything that God gives me because I want to actually be a good steward of it. So I'm not going to ramble anymore. I'm going to go and have lunch, and I'm supposed to be meeting up with a friend of mine this evening who I haven't seen in a while. So if all goes as planned, she will be on here to say hello, her and her sweet baby boys, who I would love for you all to meet as well. But if not, I pray that you all have an amazing Friday and that you all thoroughly enjoy your weekend. Make sure you carve out some time to spend with the ones you love and to do some of the things you love, because you deserve it. Love you guys.